Hey, this is Pastor Jay, and we're back, and we're about to go into our interview, and we have the pleasure of having a great man come onto the show today, who a lot of you guys know, and he's from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. He's done comedy. He's done a lot of great things, and today I'd like everybody to welcome Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, good morning.
Hey. What y'all doing?
You know, we doing good out here in the hot Las Vegas on this Sunday.
Man, that is great. That is awesome.
You know, this heat will make you know that you don't want to go to hell, because this, man.
I know it's hot out there, man. I've been in Vegas in the summertime. It's not a really expensive place.
No, not at all. It make you get right.
Yeah. A lot of people leave the casino and get saved this day. Because they love their money and they high. God, got to be real.
So we're gonna go into the interview, and one thing that I wanted to kind of go into is your background. With your background of how did you start getting into the entertainment scene?
Oh, I got in. Believe it or not, I was 19 years old. I was 19 when I started doing this. You know, I got into it on a friend's dare. I went on this comedy stage. I got booed off. Got booed off very badly. And then I went back, and I kept going back. And before I knew it, I was on the road with a headliner opening for him. I was driving everybody around. And then from there, led to plays. I did plays. From plays, led to tours. Tours led to the radio show. And here I am today.
Amen.
Yeah, but let me be the first to say it didn't happen overnight. This is a 19-year process starting October 30th. 19 years.
Amen.
So, you know, I just think that God gave me a gift, and even though it wasn't appreciated in the beginning, that gift still had to develop. You know, I didn't quite understand my own gift, and then once I understood it, doors just started opening for me, and I'm just where I am today. Yeah.
So what was kind of some of the obstacles that you ran into when you were first starting out?
Jealousy was an obstacle.
Yes.
Opportunity was an obstacle. There were so many obstacles. People, time, my own self-confidence was an obstacle. There were a lot of obstacles in the beginning because you felt like you had to be at a certain position at a certain point in time. That just was not the case. You know, there is no time like God's time. I can honestly tell you that, because where I felt I should be was not what God said I was going to be.
Right.
All God showed me was the final chapter. I just was so far behind after many, many years. You know, you get into year 6 and year 7, and you still out here, and you look at your net income and how much you're making for the gift that you have, and it's not adding up.
Right.
You know, it's not adding up. And so at that point in time, it starts dealing with your confidence about who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. You know, I never had an idea of what my life was going to be like. I never knew. And like most of us, nobody really knows who you're supposed to be. You only start learning that after one step is revealed after the other. You just have no clue. You can't say, I'm going to be this, this, and this, and you're really off track, because that's not where your gift is.
Right.
You know, your gift is over here, and if you get in line with that, then you'll start seeing doors open, then your vision of where your destiny is starts to open up. But not in the beginning. No. It just does not work like that.
And I think that's the discouraging part, is that people put so much work in so early, and because they're not seeing anything manifest, because they still see the same struggles, they get discouraged and they stop. So, what was your main thing that kept you focused? This is Pastor Jay with Anointed Radio.
Okay, I had called back and I don't know what happened. Just shut off. I'm supposed to keep calling back. I get that.
Yeah, same here. We're having a issue in the studio here, but we have you on the phone, so I think we can all hear you now. So, back to what we were saying. Amen. Praise God. We made a way.
Yes.
God's made a way. But
Okay. That'll work.
so
Proceed. There's no problem.
So the main thing I was going to say is, how did you stay focused during all the obstacles? What kept you focused and grounded during those times in your journey?
I think once you realize what it is, it's a need for validation. Like this has to work. You know, for me, there was no other option. There's no plan B.
Right.
This is what I know I'm supposed to be doing. This is what my gift is. This is where I'm supposed to be. I have to keep telling myself, you're not behind. You're at the right place at the right time.
Amen.
Amen.
And here's another thing too, though. But here's the great part about it, too. This is what I really learned. I really learned this. I'm not saying to talk about, but we're going to get detailed about what it is we're supposed to do. Do you know every place I've ever been, it was never meant for me to be there without helping someone?
Amen.
I'm God's rest. I'm not lying. Everywhere I've been, everywhere I've gone, I was there at a point in time to help somebody other than myself. The show that I was doing was just a mask. My name was on a card. People come out there to see you, the whole nine. That's not the true reason you were there.
Right.
The true reason I was there is because, I'll give you an example. Memorial Day weekend, this past Memorial Day weekend, I had to go to Walmart in a city about an hour and 10 minutes outside of Atlanta, Georgia, right? Outside Atlanta, Georgia. And this Walmart is in the middle of nowhere. It's out there where the Falcons train, the Atlanta Falcons train.
Right.
Like about flower branch, somewhere way out there. Right. I'm there to sign autographs, take pictures, the whole nine. But then there were 3 young high school graduates that came up to the Walmart because they heard I was up there. These 3 high school graduates came up to me and we were talking, and I congratulated them on graduating. I said, well, what are you all doing for the graduation party? And they were like, well, our family couldn't afford a graduation party. So I turned to my road manager, I tell him, I said, hey man, go to my bank account, and I told you I take X amount of dollars. Just so they could be celebrating. And I handed them each the money, and I just prayed when I talked to them, you know, and just talked to them, just spent some time with them. There were other people waiting to talk to me, but they were the most important thing. So then we get back in the car, we're leaving Walmart, and my road manager said, man, that was really nice event. I said, yeah, it was. I said, you know what? We really weren't there to go to Walmart. We were really there to meet 3 young high school graduates. Because I spoke to them about everything that they wanted to do in life. I asked them what they wanted to be. They wanted to be a doctor, they wanted to be an engineer, and they wanted to be a biochemist. And I said, y'all going to be 3 of the leading people in your field. But it was funny that I flew all the way from Los Angeles, California, to go right to this little small town to meet Walmart, to meet these 3 young high school students. And that's how definite God is. I've learned to look for that. I've learned that whatever the reason I'm going for, that is not the true intention. I always know and I always feel that there's somebody there more important and needed for me to be there. I can't miss this flight because there's somebody dependent on me. And God is sending me somewhere to meet somebody that I need to change their life. That's who He used me for. And I don't look at it as I'm going out here to do a show, or I'm going out here to be something, Hollywood, or do the thing that I do. I always know that the underlying theme is there's somebody in this city, this town, who needs to run into me.
That's beautiful.
And that's how I pretty much live my life. It's crazy that I will fly that early in the morning to get to from Los Angeles to Atlanta, to take another car ride, an hour and 10 minutes to get there, and they don't show up until the last hour before I'm supposed to leave, to spend 15 minutes with them, to bless them financially, and then pray with them, and then tell them that they're going to be the 3 leading people in their field, changing their lives. Now I'm hugging and holding 3 people that's crying on my outfit that I had ironed that morning. I put a lot of time to that trip. I put a lot of time to make sure all the pieces were working. But the point I'm making is that God is that defined.
Amen.
It is not by accident. And I wish more people would realize that they just start looking at wherever they're going. If you're going into Target or you go into Chipotle, and you understand that there's somebody there to meet you at a point in time, you'll discover so many things. So then what happens is, because I'm so obedient, God blesses me, and He has people that I meet at a point in time. For my very own life.
And see, I think that's one thing now, what's missing nowadays. Everybody love to talk about these rocks, these energies, but they forgot the power in the name of Jesus. And I think that's where all this diluted sense of comfort comes from, because they put it into it instead of putting it in God's hands, because they don't even realize what God is doing in their life, because they're not opening their eyes to see it. Because everybody's in their daily routine, everybody's in their normal life, and they looking at, oh, I got this, I got that, I got this, but they're not looking at, well, I was blessed enough to come from where I used to be uplifted and be alive, and like my grandmama used to say, alive and in my right mind today. Right. So it's crazy. See, God knows a way, because that just changed the whole mode. Because one thing that I was just thinking of, just in my personal life, just recently, I was looking at, instead of looking at the things I want, to be appreciative of the things I already got.
Amen.
You have to be, man. If more people understood that simple principle about being grateful. Grateful should be a constant state. I think it really should be.
Right.
Because when you're grateful, it automatically leads to reflection. When you're grateful, it automatically leads to reflection, because you can see where you were, and then you can see where you currently are.
Right.
And if you have the inability, and you're not able to thank God for that simple thing that He's doing on a daily basis, for you to wake up in the position that you are on a daily basis, if you cannot thank God for that simple thing, how can He entrust you with the future endeavors that He has for you?
Right.
Man, I wake up every day grateful. I have to, especially with my condition and the things that I have to live through, that I've almost died 7 times. So every day when I wake up, it's very easier for me to be grateful than to be upset.
Right.
Now, you know, I ain't perfect. I'm human. I have some days that I hate that I had to get up and do some things like that. But there are way more days that I'm grateful than I am upset.
Amen.
Because you have to put a lot of those things in perspective. See, once you almost died 7 times, it's not really hard to make it to be grateful. A simple cup of coffee, I can be grateful for. Just a simple breath of air, I can be grateful for. A simple phone call, I can appreciate from a long lost friend.
Right.
Those are things that you have to learn to find, to be appreciative about. The car to drive now versus what I had to drive back then. Those are things. The place where I live now, when I'm sleeping on floors.
Amen. I
The
could.
food I eat now that I used to have to eat then. But when I was eating the food back then, I still was grateful.
Right.
But what happens is now is that when I do get a thing, I sit down, I remember I just have to eat ramen noodles.
Ooh, them the struggle days. I remember them days myself.
Man, man. I'm talking about waiting for put them on 2 minutes and to sit there and wait by the microwave and wait for the D.
Eating them like chips. That was my struggle.
No name. Chips. Kettle baked. Not even them, just chips. I appreciate you back in kettle baked chips now. They put some time in there.
So,
You know, it's like,
so one thing I was going to ask too, how did your path go into coming onto the show of the Steve Harvey Show?
oh man, I met Steve Harvey back in 2002 back in Los Angeles, California. I first met him working for doing a showcase for his company. And then after I met him, I was young, I was 21 years old, something like that. About 21 years old, so 2002. Won't be 22, but 2001. And then I did the showcase, and he said, hey man, I don't know you, but I'm going to see you again. Wait until 2009 that I ran back into me. I got a phone call from his company saying, hey, Steve, somebody, he wants you to open up for him in Miami, 2009. And I was blown away because I was like, well, who all said no? Because I don't know why you reached this far down. He knows everybody. What makes me so special is 7 years later, it's 2009.
Right.
I heard Steve, not 8 words, it's radio silence, you know. So I go open up for him in Miami, then I get another call the next week saying, well, hey, Steve wants to go to Philly. After Philly was Nashville, after Nashville, Oklahoma City, after Oklahoma City was Dallas. All the different shows behind it, and then I didn't hear from Steve again until 2011. And that next phone call that I got while I was at home on a Saturday watching college football with boxers and some house shit, sitting there watching TV just in my regular house, you know, and his manager called me, Sean McDonald called me and said, hey man, I'm not here to talk about your career, I'm here to talk about your future, which was very distinctive because they weren't discussing my career, they wanted to discuss my future. He's like, hey, Steve is retiring from stand-up, and he wants to invest his time and knowledge, and he wants to put it in you. And so when I offered a good job on the radio, we were to accept. And man, I cannot tell you, because you always picture this type of phone call coming in the boardroom, and they sitting across from you, and you sitting across from them, and they slide you a piece of paper, and you signed it, and that's it.
Right.
That's just not how it goes. That call comes when you're in a different position. You're sitting there and you're at home and you're not even thinking. It's the furthest thing from your mind. And to give a phone call like that, man, I must have said that I was sitting in my truck, and I was sitting in there and I was just crying because he told me to be honest with him about how much money I was making. And I told him, I said, I made $35,000 doing comedy that year. He said, well, you're going to have a salary of $70,000.
Praise God.
I was like, I thought they were kidding. So one thing that took off my mind was my financial capability, because I had never made $70,000 before. I didn't know what that type of money would look like. And the first check, I had to move to Atlanta, so I left Houston with just my truck and island board. It loaded up, found an apartment in Atlanta, and my first week on the radio, they handed me a check for $4,000. I didn't even have a bank account set up, but I wasn't going to get one that day. I went straight to Bank of America to see if this was real deal. I put that $4,000 check on You should see the people so much things. Everybody that was important at the bank said, Mr. State, would you like to open the account here? I said, no. I want cash. And they cashed. They waived the $5 transaction fee and everything. Oh, I got over $4,000. My pocket was so big, and I went down to Houston Festival and had the biggest steak that night because I was celebrating that this is going to be your life game now. This is going to be this is life. And that was a mile mark. And you have to celebrate some milestones that you make it. I always believe in that. I always go out and I sat down and thought I had no friends in Atlanta. I didn't know that. So I went straight down to the nearest restaurant in Houston, right across my apartment. I sat down in Houston and I sat there and I ate a Hawaiian ribeye and some mashed potatoes by myself. And I just thank God that it was going to be a different way for me. I did not even know you could make that much money for free. I had no clue. You just don't know. You just have no clue. And ever since that check has changed, that check record, that first check, man, I can't even believe to you the faded checks that I have been through. But God has always saw fit. Like when He said He'll supply your needs, man, they have all been met.
Right.
Amen.
I'm talking about, even as I'm sitting there talking to y'all right now, all my needs have been met. I'm even friends. And look, I'm just bearing because these people understand that there's something to learn from here. When we get caught up on this, I don't know if I can afford this. I don't know if I can afford that. Why you don't know that? I have to get a whole new circle of friends because their mentality has been the same since we were kids.
Amen.
I can't keep talking to you because you're going to talk me out of everything.
Wow.
Your job is just to talk me out of everything. I go find a pair of shoes that I like. And because the pair of shoes are $795, you're like, man, I can have 6 pairs of shoes for that amount. But these are the ones I want. These are the ones that God won't want me to have. But I'm sitting here talking to you. My bank account tells me that I can afford these shoes with no problem. Now it changed my lifestyle. But I'll put the shoes down and then you walk out the store. Don't even get the shoe I want.
Settling.
Now, how many people like that you got in your life right now?
Ooh-wee.
How many people do you sit around and talk to that talk you out of every blessing that you are to come? How many people do you sit around and talk to that when you get blessed that God has blessed you and you know this is a blessing from God that you sit around and they talk you out your own blessing? Now you got to be ashamed that you can't tell what God's doing for you. You can't move nothing. Now you sit around with your head down. Now you modest about everything. Being humble is one thing, but when you're testifying about the goodness of God, that should be boastful. You should be proud of the God that you serve.
Amen.
He blessed you. But being humble in service to other people is a whole other different thing.
Right.
If somebody asks you why you smiling, why you can't tell them why you smiling? Man, you ain't gonna believe this wonderful thing God just did for me. Now let me just show you. Look, this is what happened. Okay, but then no, you know what? Well, you know, I'm hanging in there. You know, God is God. He supplies my needs. But you just got a brand new car. I think your credit was a 3.
Oh, I can testify to that. Amen.
But you just don't act like God ain't make that happen. Say the man told you there was no way you gonna get that car. God got your new car. Well, you know, God. He doing it. You ain't told none of the story. I had a 3 credit stuff. It was bleak. I stopped looking at the car. I really wanted the car. I just said, God, if you want me to have it, you should take away from me. Man said, I don't know how, but you got 3 companies that have approved his loan. And know that when you want it and everything. But no, you walk off the lot. You just say, well, God is, he just doing what we do. I guess he all right. He all right.
Amen.
Now, how many times have you done that? If we being honest.
Yeah, I can see exactly what you're talking about because I experienced that in my life. I remember the home that I was moving into now, I was paying the deposit and somehow I was short. And me and my wife sat in the car and counted it like 3-4 times each. And we were like, oh man, we got to tell this man that we're short. And then we went to give him the money. He counted it and said it's all there. I'm like, no, we are short. And the money was there. And we was off, and all me and my wife did was get in our car, thank God, and pray together off Charleston in the 15. And it was hot that day, but we didn't leave that parking lot till we made sure we thank God for our blessing. We don't know how he did it, making money appear out of thin air, because I know I can count, I know she can count, and we counted together, and we both come up with the same number that's not the number we need. But then he counts it, and then he counts it in front of us, and it's there. I'm like, whoa, how is this possible? We're supposed to be short. Like you said, God will make a way. If it's in your plans, God is going to take care of it.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to stop, man. You have to stop. You have to stop questioning what's happening. And walk in it. Accept it for what it is. People say favor ain't fair, and it's not. Your Father that in heaven who's directing us says that you can have X, Y, and Z according to his word. All that he asks for is faith.
Amen.
But you've been through so many other different situations. I understand that faith is an ever-growing process that you have to continue to grow in your faith department. Right. Your praise department can grow. Everything, your tithing department grows. But your ever-understanding faith department must continuously grow. I'm talking, it's got to grow to the point to where you can say the most ridiculous thing and God's going to do it.
I got a story for you on that one. So,
You got to have faith, man. Go ahead, what is it?
man,
I'm interested in this.
so what happened was with this story, I was a bus driver for the Las Vegas Clark County School District. And I was listening to y'all show early morning because y'all the only interesting show to listen to out here at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we thank you so much. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah, I really and it's crazy because you say how Mr. Steve Harvey invested in you, and it was crazy because that year he was talking about Jump, his book, and I was listening. But I was driving, but listening, and I was really in tune to it. And, having 30 kids behind you driving the school bus and trying to listen to the radio, man, it's difficult. But he said something to me, and it really stuck with me. And then God spoke to me and was saying, "Open up Anointed Radio." And then Mr. Harvey said, "Jump," and it was in coincide. And I was like, but I don't know nothing about that. I don't know how to start. I don't know how to get ready. And tell you no lie, the day I got on Facebook after that, I saw a post saying, we're looking for new shows. Then I got a whole bunch of people that I knew, and they weren't the people that I asked, because usually you ask people you're already comfortable with. You asked them friends you knew for years, and they said no. And then I met my beautiful co-host that I love today that came without knowing the vision and saying, yeah, I'll come do it. And because of that show, that is why Anointed Radio is here.
That is awesome. Man, that takes a big step. That's an incredible process. You know, for me, it has been each challenge that I have faced in my career has always relucted me to go back into what happened to me previously and what was the outcome. You know, it's okay to do some recaps.
Right.
You know, I can't even, I wish I'd have to come back on and just tell y'all specifically this situation, that situation, but even I got kicked off tours. You know how, even doing shows, and I needed that money. I needed that 75 and that 150, and the promoter walked out on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even after all those situations, even after they said, well, he's too funny, he can't work on this show. God drove all the way down here, or even because of somebody who had the power at that time to say, no, I heard about him, he can't be out here. All these different things. That at that time when I'm house to house, floor to floor, friend to friend, you know, even after all those things, is that everybody thinks that you just showed up out of nowhere. Man, I've been out here hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm out here talking. The first battle that I ever had was people who had my same last name.
Ooh, Jesus.
It's the very first battle that I had. The one I call mom, the one I call dad, the one I call sister, the one I call granny, the one I call auntie, the one I call cousin. It's the first one. It's the first one that says, hey, you throwing your life away. You wasting your time. Who do you think he is? How come he don't go and do what everybody else is doing? This is the very first one. I hate to say that, but it's the honest to God truth.
Right. You tell the truth.
But you know what, too? At the same time, I forgave them. But guess what? Don't everybody reap the benefits?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Don't everybody reap the benefits?
You
But I
know,
don't forget the fact. I don't forget the days, though. You don't never let that go.
right.
So I forgive them, but I don't forget that. No, I don't forget it because that's my motivating force to keep going forward.
Right.
Now, if a stranger doubts me, it means absolutely nothing. You didn't know me in the beginning. I can't give you that type of weight. And you don't even know me. I got to prove that we've never met. We've only known each other through passing.
Right.
But the people that you have to spend your holidays with, the people who instill in you in the principles, and then you start applying them, and they tell you that, well, you're doing it wrong. Well, no, that's what you taught me. You know, my mother and father got mad at me one time because I took my tuition money. I took my tuition money, and I paid it. I gave it to my roommate so he can continue to go to college. I just went back and asked them for more. They said, why would you do that? Why would you take the tuition money we gave you to go to school and give it to your friend so he can continue to go to college? I think that that's the way y'all raised. I'm only applying what I'm taught.
Right.
And guess what they did? They gave it back to me. They couldn't, they had no leg to say it though. How can you be mad at me? You saying we supposed to help others. Now I'm helping. Now how we gonna get mad at helping?
Say that.
So you know that comes with growth. All that comes with growth. You have to just grow.
Amen.
I didn't always become this person. I didn't become this individual. I haven't been in there. I'm telling you, I had so many faults. I had a lot of faults. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm talking about a lot of mistakes. And some things that I can't even say on this show, but that I'm ashamed of. That I made it. That you know what? God erased all of those things too. He never held not one of them. No, because now we get into the part where we start getting into doubt and whether we're worthy enough.
Right.
Because of what I've done, because of the things that are natural, and people have done them way before I have done. So now we get into the part to whether am I worthy enough to receive these blessings that's already been stored up before me, and now I gotta feel like, man, I don't really think I should get this because I did this last week. But man, God don't care nothing about none of that.
He sure doesn't.
Truth be told, He needs you to go through all them things.
Right.
He needs you to. He needs you to. He needs you to mess up. He needs you to make all the mistakes that you make. You got to go make them.
Without a test, you ain't got a testimony.
Exactly. You don't have one. How can God show out if you don't make no mistakes?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's a good point.
That's true.
And I mean, that's the absolute truth. That's just the beginning of the story. It's not like it's a whole lot that you have to do. You ain't got to prove that to nobody, man. What I have freed myself of is people. What they say about me on social media, that ain't true. What they say about me behind my back, that ain't true.
Right.
Who are you? I'm everything God said I am.
Amen.
I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm His most precious jewel. I'm the best thing. I'm the apple of His eye. He's concerned about anything I'm concerned. That's who God is to me.
Amen.
The things that I pray for, if you ask me to pray for, do you understand what you would ask me for? You asked me to go to my Father who actually loves me more than anything in life, and you asked me to go on your behalf for something that you want Him to do for you. Man, I can't wait to get down on my knees and pray to you.
Amen.
Amen.
Do you understand what you're asking me? All the things that God is going to do?
And see the power of God, of how much He
Thank
could
you.
change your life, how much He could come and show out and be able to bless you and be able to use you as an example.
Do you
See,
understand?
man, one thing I could say personally, coming from, like you said, a great thing to do is recap. And when I look back, before I was Pastor J, before I was Minister J, before I was Christian J, and I was just on the street J, and I look back and I see the times where God protected me from something. I look back and I see the things that He saved me from, and when I should have been dead and gone in 2009 on President's Day, when I flipped 3 times in my car and He told me, I'm not finished with you yet. And then I'm here today and seeing why He wasn't finished with me yet, why there was purpose when I didn't see purpose. And one thing I can say that is great about Jesus is that He see purpose in you when you don't even see purpose in yourself. And then you take these years and you look back and you see how far and how much impact you were after that time has gone by. Because every revelation that He reveals to you, it might not be revealed today. It might not be revealed in the next 5 years, but when it's revealed to you, everything makes sense.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Because I'm going to tell you, my best friend was went home on that same Memorial Day weekend. He was my road manager. And he was the one I was in the car talking to about the 3 high school kids that we had flew out from LA to meet. And then I did not know the next morning that we were not going to talk again. Let me tell you, if you talk about trusting God, just when I think I had it all figured out. You know, He lived with me in LA. He was going through a hard time. I told him, I said, hey man, you were there through the whole process. Just come live with me. I hired him. He worked for me. He lived with me. He had no bills, no nothing. I needed him to get his life back on track. But I wanted to show him a different life of where I am now. We're not back there no more. We're up here. And God called him home. And it's crushing. It's crushing that the same God I serve will do this to me, right? And let me just be honest. We're going to be honest or just be honest with you. I was hurt. I said some things to God that I swear to God, He could have taken my life that night if He wanted to. I threw a fit. Sorry about the car in the back. I'm outside at the club. But I threw a fit. I threw a complete tantrum. I told God it wasn't fair. It wasn't right. I've done everything you asked me to do. The whole night. I threw a fit. I cried night after night after night. Almost 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks I was in a sulky position. I was dealing with the issues with the funeral and all these different things and getting all the stuff done. And people who I thought were my friend were not even really my friend.
Mm.
But I threw all these fits. And at night, when I walk in that apartment at night, it's just me in there. There's no more laughing in here. There's nothing. The home is wrecked. I have to move, money going out the window, all kinds of stuff. Until one night, about 3 in the morning, as I had finished crying over and over again, that I finally could hear God's voice again, clearly. And He said, "Are you finished? Are you through?" Because the only one that can't seem to get this together is you. I've been talking to him since he died. We're sitting here talking right now.
Mm.
You're the one who can't hold together. What better place can he be than with me? Don't you trust me?
Mm.
And that's when I finally understood how to handle death.
Yes.
Mm.
I had no understanding because I never lost a friend. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to trust God, you got to trust God through all the situations.
Amen.
You can't pick them. You can't pick them, man. You can't pick it, I'm going to do it today, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. You can't pick it because He takes your best player off the team.
Mm.
He's still a coach.
Amen.
He's still a coach. You can't pick the situation that you want to trust God in. Do I want my best friend here today? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Is he here? No. Is the game still going? Yes. It's still going. It is still going.
Amen. That's powerful. Because a lot of dealing with those situations where when you struggling, because it talks about in the Bible that them key players, Moses, even Jesus, had times where they was out with human emotion. Amen. They were human too, and they had talks with Jesus. They talked to God the same way, yelling.
Jesus on the cross.
Jesus was in the garden. Why? Pass this cup from me. I don't know, because he had somebody, not the people that he knew that was talking bad about him, the people that rode with him, the people that ate with him, laughed with him. He took care of their kids, their wives. They were like extended family that wasn't connected by blood. And to find out that they would not be by his side, not have his back, it was crippling. It was so bad that it shows in the text that Jesus, his pores were even bleeding how bad he was crying and praying and crying and praying. And then he said, if it's your will, let your will be done. That process is still needed because God know you got to let it out. God know you got to let it out. You got to go through those modes so that you could finally have everything out and you said what you had to say so that you could keep going. Because one thing that someone told me is that you could be sad and you could cry and you could have your breakdown, but you got to realize you can't live there. You got to get back up and keep going because there's people that still depend on you in this journey.
Exactly. And that's what I had to realize, that there are some people who still depend on me in this process, And we're all human, and as bad as it hurts, it would be selfish for me to stay in the same position.
Right.
and that's not the case. You cannot stay in the same position. You cannot keep the same attitude. When he makes the call, he makes the call.
Amen.
Although it's hurt, it's expected when somebody is 91, My great aunt just passed last week. She was 91 years old. I don't feel as bad as her passing. I don't feel that bad.
Right.
Because that's expected. She has lived a very long and productive life. Somebody 39, I'm struggling because he in my day-to-day.
Yeah.
And now I got to sit up here and figure out how to move forward when it's hard. So the only thing I do have left is faith.
Amen.
The same thing I started with. It's the same tool you got to use to move forward. It's not like it's going to change. It's the same tool. Your best tool in your bag is going to have to be faith.
Amen.
If you ain't using it, you're going to fall way back.
That's true. And one thing I want everybody to hear, so that everybody can know, we're talking to a junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. And what is your final things as we go out? And please talk about what you're about to do tonight. I know we have some followers out in that side of town, so go ahead and just shout out where to be seen tonight, and where we can find you social media wise, and just any final remarks.
Oh man, tonight I'm heading home. Tonight I was all in Memphis all weekend long. I had a really wonderful time. Thank you to the city of Memphis. They were absolutely fantastic. We had a wonderful 5 great shows. But on social media, you can always follow me at Junior SHMS. That's JUNIOR/SHMS on all platforms, on everything. And I think if you follow me, you'll find out there's a lot of positive things on my platform now. We don't do negativity over here. You have no idea. But you already know you can catch me on the Steve Harvey Morning Show Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, or in our case, 7 to 10, or 6 to 10 on the Pacific Coast. But normally through the country, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. I just want people to understand that, man, life is a process. It is a very long process. You're going to have many phases in your life. You're not going to be the same person you are at 20 that you are at 30, or 30 that you are at 40. That's all I can speak on. I'm only 40 years old, but I've seen the man that I've changed to become, the friend that I've become, and I want people to understand that you don't have to be overnight. You don't have to develop overnight, because I did. And there's no time frame in God's mind. You're exactly where you're supposed to be at this very point in time in your life. Don't think of it any different. Enjoy the ride is what you do. Just enjoy the ride.
Amen. And we definitely appreciate you coming on the show. We definitely want that part 2, like he was saying, and get that advice. I got you. So we'll definitely.
At least you got all my information.
Well, Lady AJ got all the information. She always got all the. She got that voice. This is Lady AJ. Hit me up at ladyaj2020@gmail.com. So we definitely appreciate you, man. We give you a great shout out. Keep doing the great things you're doing. Anointed Radio is definitely backing you. If you need any promotion, anything, we are here as family. Like I told everybody that's been on the show, you're family to us. If you need help, if you're gonna be in town, if you need some food in Vegas, I'll bring you some to the Strip because it's high. So anything that you might need, just let us know, and we'll be there.
Hey man, thank you so much. Thank you so much to Anointed Radio for having me, man. I think this is really cool because fans get to hear me in a different light. And I hope that I have resonated with them on a very normal level and not just at my job, man. I really appreciate that so much.
Amen. Amen. Well, enjoy your flight, and we will keep in touch, man.
Hey, man, you stay positive, bro.
I sure will.
Amen.
Keep the radio show going now. Let me tune in, y'all out.
We'll keep it going around.
They got canceled.
Oh, we ain't gonna get canceled.
That's right, man.
You know, I can say this. God opened it for a reason, so He won't let it get canceled.
Exactly.
Amen.
Stay focused, man. Stay out in the streets, man. Stay out here, stay positive. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, too.
Thank you.
God bless.
That was the Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. That was deep.
Yeah, it was.
That was real deep. I got a message out of it that I didn't expect. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. But it was great. It was something I needed to hear, and I hope it was something that you needed to hear. And other than that, we're going to go ahead and go in our closing. But guess what? It's a special day because it's the third anniversary of Judah Family Community Church.
Say it one more time.
The third anniversary of Judah Family Community Church.
Woo!
Hello, somebody. Well, and we're going to be having music. We're going to have Pastor Staples come out from the Mac Church, and he's going to give a great message today. Our theme is Next Level, coming out of Philippians chapter 3, going to the next level. We're going to the next level, y'all. There ain't no stopping. When God is at the head of your life, there ain't no stopping. There's only more levels and going higher and higher until you attain the ultimate goal to say, oh, well, faithful servant, welcome in and come in. So one thing I want everybody to know is, guess what? We're going to start at our normal time at 3 p.m. at Judah Family Community Church at 3739 Glen Ave. And come on in. Just come on. And you know, if you want to go ahead and leave a love offering or a token of appreciation or donation to the church, you can go onto the Judah Family Community Church Facebook page and push donate and be able to donate it, and it's tax deductible. Go ahead, somebody. You better donate. You can write it off. So go ahead, donate, and you'll be able to see live on the Facebook virtual campus the actual service. So like I can always say to you, common sense is not common. Shout out to everybody. And guess what? My birthday coming up. Just let y'all know that. So yeah, I could do that. That's what happens when you have your own show. Hey, how you do? So anyway, check me out this afternoon on Judah Family Community Facebook page. We're about to have a great time fellowshipping, and always remember that common sense is not common.
And this is Lady AJ reminding everyone to get focused and stay focused.
And this is Coach Hill. You can find me on Instagram at 910Coach. And remember, patience is a talent that a lot of people don't have.
Amen. We'll see y'all next week.